What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So we have a mystery logo, or should I say a mystery Avengers logo, appear on somebody's map in this game, but on top of that we also have an old UI for Marvel's Avengers that has now been revealed, and I guess it's safe to say that it has a lot of people talking, but mostly about why it was removed, but also the fact that it shows that clans were a thing in this game. So I mean, just to think why they would have removed clans is just mind-blowing. So we got some really cool bits to talk about in today's video, so let's gently click that like button to over 2 likes and go ahead and click that big red subscribe button below if you have not already, because well, it's just a really cool thing to do. So to start with the mystery Avengers icon or logo, whatever you wish to say, it was sent in by a Twitter user, as you can see on screen, who goes by the name Cheesy. Now, he did actually send a little video with it, but unfortunately the video was quite blurry. But what I did do is screenshot where it actually showcases the logos, as you'll basically see in the background. But his tweet did say, look at the mission icons, there were 2 Avenger symbols that appear and then they vanish. Now, this is super strange. I did post it in my Discord channel, which if you haven't joined, join. The link is in the description below, but everyone seemed just as confused. Now, this is, well, I guess this isn't specifically, but in general there is a little theory going around that sometimes when we get these random things in this game, and I'm not just talking about this logo, but just in general, we have this theory that sometimes it's purposely added into there on purpose, and it's not just like a random glitch. It's actually there to essentially get people to see it and then get interested in whatever it may be. And that's going on the basis that they did actually do this with the cloning lab as well, where people have actually been able to play it like a month ago almost, which is crazy to think how it could just randomly become accessible. But again, it's just a theory, but nonetheless, let me know what your thoughts on this logo could be, why it's there, and what it could possibly be in relation to. Leave all your ideas on that in the comments below. Now, going on to the UI, or should I say the old UI that this game had, that has something very, well, it has some very interesting things, not just one thing. It's got a load of stuff. Now, this information initially comes from Miller's Twitter account, and it says, as you can see on screen, Rick Stauder gear menu version 3 4 power level upgrade to JPEG. Now, Rick Stauder, I believe is how you pronounce it, hopefully anyway, is a dude that I believe worked on this game, and it's essentially on his portfolio, and there's loads of different things that in the past this dude has actually released as well. Now, of course, Miller's comment on this was, what's overpower? And also interesting that Steve has 5 gear slots, so I assume the 5th might be an artifact. Curious that he has nothing on the 4th slot, which isn't possible at the moment. And he shows this first picture with Captain America that looks super cool. It really does. Now, let's be honest, okay? It is very similar, should I say, to how Destiny's UI look. And I think for that reason, I'm assuming that's why it was changed. Give or take, I mean, I've never really played Destiny good enough, but after seeing people's comments on it, I mean, even looking at their UI, it's more or less safe to say it's almost like a clone, essentially, right? But it does look cool, like it does look well, and I guess with like Captain America, it just looks really cool as a whole. Now, what's interesting is there's something cool to note here, okay, is that it says Fireburn. Now, what it says, and I quote, is all attacks of this type will add burn damage, and chance attack will actually light all enemies on fire. Which is just insane. Again, I mean, this is something completely different that essentially you can't do in the game, right? As far as I'm aware anyway, okay? I know there's guys out there that are really grinding this game, but like, I'm pretty sure you can't set enemies on fire as a whole now. So, this is something that has just vanished, right? But it doesn't stop there, because the second one was Rick Stadler Gear Menu version 3 for power level upgrade again. Don't know why I stuttered almost there, but what it says by Miller here is, it seems like overpower is a way to grow past the cap on gear upgrades, and it's basically imprints that are interesting as well are gear based objectives possibly, and plus Death Loctus, again more questions than answers, which is what Miller says. So there's a lot of things to dig out from this old UI, because there's a lot of things that just aren't in the final version of the game, right? And then lastly, I mean, not just the fact that the power level was insane. I mean, this is like over 600, which is just mind-blowing, right? Right now we're capped, okay? So that being said, this is just insane, and I'm assuming, I mean, given of course the new content that gets added into this game and so forth, and even as I'm saying that now, like with the delay on the DLC and everything, it is almost feeling like it's something that's almost never going to happen, right? But it will happen one day. We must keep faith on that. It is going to be happening, but we're just in a drought, right, in terms of new content being added to the game as a whole. But what the key thing here is that it actually says clans under the power level or above. It says clans, which is really, really interesting. Now, I don't know whose idea it was to actually just say, well, maybe we should remove clans as a whole. But I'd like to say I don't think that would have been a really good idea. I think it would have been a great idea if clans were just, you know, I guess left in the game. Because clans is something that I would say is still of people's interest ever since the beta especially. And there were even concepts on how clans can work in this game. But I couldn't find the post again to show you guys, unfortunately. But just now rethinking about it, clans would really make the Avengers Initiative experience so much more fun, at least in my opinion. Now, do leave your thoughts on this and even the concepts as well, but most importantly, how you think clans could work in the comments below. There's loads of different ways it could work, and it almost feels rewarding as well. It's almost like having more of a purpose to grind in the game to get accepted into a specific clan as well. I just think it's having, I guess, valid enough reasons to grind your way, especially after you've more or less maxed out your characters, which I'm ashamed to say, but I haven't actually maxed out all my characters as of yet, so I technically have to, you know, grind the players that I just weren't really interested in playing as through the story, so I still have to forcefully, in a way, play as them, even though they are cool characters. But you know what I mean, like leveling up and maxing out your characters is not something that's easy to do. It does take a lot of grinding in some sort of perspective, but I mean, vault missions of course are super easy with that stuff, but you get where I'm going with that. But nonetheless, like if it was in terms of getting accepted into a clan, if there were certain requirements as such, then you know, that's a prime example. Like grinding in the game wouldn't feel so bad. But again, leave all your thoughts on this stuff in the comments below, and that's going to wrap up this video here. So if you missed the video yesterday, we were talking about something interesting that is regarding the Black Panther DLC, which by the way now we more or less know is coming 2021, unfortunately. Hopefully maybe something, I guess, magical just happens and they don't release it next year, and maybe, just maybe, we get more content than we kind of are anticipating for this year. But I don't even know. I really have no idea. All we know is that there is potential with this game, and we just got to keep the faith, and keep the faith most importantly with the devs, going on the basis with the work conditions they're under right now as well. But guys, I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and until the next one, adios amigos.